Good evening. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. My name is Paul. Net control for. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Nothing heard. Net may be broken anytime for emergency traffic. Again, anytime you have problems, it's like you need milk or something. Information on the net. You can see us right now on YouTube. You can look us up on YouTube.com and just do a search in the search block with my call in it, K4PEW, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, which will show in me transmitting into it and how your signal comes in to us. To me, you can see how your signal is to me, and you can hear how others are seen and heard by me. So 6415.net, 146415.net. You can look us up. Where's the third place? So you can went blank there for a second. Oh, you can call me and see me at K4PEW at ARRL.net. That's the regular. Also on groups.io. I forgot. GROUPS.India Oscar. It's GROUPS.io. Just look up MJSS. You can sign up for email and see some other interesting stuff about our so-called club. We meet normally at meter Simplexnet here on 146.415 FM. A 10 meter net on 28.415 upper sideband. And let's see, we have other. Have fun. Figure out who you can hear, who you can't hear. Maybe keep track of who you can hear on a basis, depending upon what you're doing with your radio and your antenna. Most of us on the net have over time. We'll be finishing up our 6th year in September. Have improved our stations in some way. Better radios, better feed line, better antennas, higher antennas. We look at YouTube. I get tired of dressing up. Some of you will appreciate how bad that sounds. Other than that, does anybody else have any other announcements aside from the 2 nets? And then, of course, tomorrow night is the Bowling Green net at 7:30. 1:30, point your antennas toward Bowling Green, and they're on 146.430, 146.430. And it's 8 o'clock net for the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club's information net at 8 p.m. on let's see where the 147.105 and a plus offset and a 156.7 p.m. Does anybody have any questions about Saturday? I believe is Saturday. We're having a breakfast. Are we not? Isn't that right? Yes, that's right. I'm making it right. I get my days confused when I retire. Anybody else have any announcements, corrections, any commentary at all? Of course, we do the net based upon the first. We just need to hear your ham call, your name, and your location, and we move on from there for any other further discussion. Any other?
KF4YRF.
Yeah, Michael.
Hey, Paul, this Saturday is the 3rd Saturday of the month.
Is there?
Yes, on the 7th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in 8.
Okay, you're right. For some reason I thought we had met on the 1st. I don't know why. We met on the 8th, and today is. Wait a minute. 8th, and this Saturday is the 2nd. This is the 4th Saturday, is it not?
Well, I'm looking. Yes, it is. It is the 4th Saturday. The 1st was on a Saturday. He's trying to confuse you, Paul.
Looking at a Kentucky calendar.
It's an Alabama calendar.
Oh, well, you're from Kentucky. That's why I chose that one.
No, the one is just right underneath the August. I'm looking at my phone, and that's why I was confused.
That's all right. You don't need an excuse. Don't need a reason. So it is this Saturday.
So carry on.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, we're just clocking right along. All right. Well, very good. Some weeks we do meet 3 times. 3 months we meet 3. Some months we have met 3 times just to keep it kind of even. Maybe the next month is one of those. But anyway, Second and fourth Saturdays, and this coming Saturday is the fourth. We meet at Charlie Daniels Park, 8 a.m. or anytime you feel. Some of us are late, some of us are a lot late, but we just have coffee. I bring extra coffee. You can bring your own coffee cup. I also bring coffee cups, and we're welcome to bring donuts of your own. Anyway, we're just there to gather and have fun, and it's in Pavilion number 5. It's right near, adjacent to, not only by the caboose and the community center, whatever it's called, on the far side of it. You have to pass the tennis courts to park. Otherwise, there's like a $247 parking ticket.
Put it on your bill.
That's right. I'll put it on the bill too. Couldn't believe it's that much money. Anyway, we'll move right on now. We'll start taking check-ins from the west, and that's where we'll start tonight. Looking for ham call, your name or your alias, whichever you prefer, and please forgive me in advance if I've forgotten name or location if you don't give it to me. Sometimes I forget between events. So let's go ahead right now. Starting from the west, please come now.
YRF, Mike at Belshire.
Very good, Mike. So you gave me an easy one, KM4Y. I know that one. All right, very good, Michael. Yeah, we need to discuss the calendar before the net. You know?
Got it.
Very good. Oh, yeah, terrible. No, time flies. I mean, it doesn't seem like 2 weeks ago that we had almost 2 weeks ago that we had the break. Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot for those that can't hear or would.
Kilo Delta 4.
I forgot Greg in Antioch, Kilo Delta 4. Hear you in there. Good signal there, Greg from Antioch. Who is the Laverne station?
Kilo November 4. Tom Laverne.
All right, Tom and Laverne. That's Kilo. Is that Kilo? Ah, there you go. I was got ahead of myself there, and it's Victor. And that is, wow, I scribbled it so quickly.
QQZ Tom.
I think I drank or something. Huh? All right, Tom, I'm sorry about that. It's Uniform Quebec Zulu, correct?
Roger.
All right, very good. I'm sorry. Again, I did my initial apology. Sorry about that. Kilo November 4, Uniform Quebec Zulu. Tom and Laverne, excellent signal, by the way. But it should be because I'm really well positioned for Laverne, Antioch, Murfreesboro, etc., going south. Who else is west?
Kilo November 4, Zulu Pop Trot, Will in Nashville.
Ah, very good, Will. Good to have you in there in Nashville. Avoid Nashville now at all costs, but you know the traffic. I was out today. Could not believe how much traffic is on Briley Parkway during the day and on 65. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Roger that. They recently reopened 440. You know, they expanded that, and it is still quite busy. So Roger that on avoiding Nashville if possible.
Well, had they closed 440 for a little while?
Oh yeah, it was closed for quite a long time, several months, almost a year actually. They added extra lanes.
When they did some of the work going back and forth, but that was about last time I was on 440 was probably over a year ago. But the corrections on 440 was a lot more fun avoiding potholes.
Absolutely, there were tons of potholes there, but for the news, but still there's a bottleneck coming from Raleigh Parkway east, coming east to west to get on 440. It's still bottlenecks down to one lane to get on 440. But once you're on, it's much nicer over.
Yeah, you know, they actually, that 440 and anything else that's east-west, actually they need another about 8 lanes above it.
Yeah, it seems like they never have enough when they start to increase. You think they would add a few extra lanes because of that.
Yeah, I know, Will, but the difficulty with, you know, from a city thing is, while it would be great to always overbuild, they don't have that tax money in advance, you know what I'm saying? So I guess they don't. And plus, the Department of Transportation's federal and state have been crying the blues because gas revenues have been down for several years because of increase in efficient vehicles and less gas consumed per mile and all that crap. So they just don't have to be almost unbearable. We went through that when I lived in Tampa as they went through this. Anyway, let's move on. Who else is west? Please come on.
KG4.
All right, that's Chris and Donaldson. You must be busy. I haven't heard you on the air all day.
Yeah, today was an under the water day. You know, comes and goes.
Ah, that's all right. It's better to be busy than sitting around twiddling your thumbs and wondering where your next paycheck is. That's Chris and Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4, Charlie X-Ray Echo, and Donaldson. Who else is west? Well, west or south, please come in.
K4 IDC.
Very good. You were back in time, weren't you, Rob?
Me and Marty McFly.
Back to the future net. That's Robin, Kilo 4, India, Delta, Charlie, and he is in Hermitage, west or south.
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Yankee Bill, Murfreesboro.
Hold on, Bill. You and Jack and Donaldson double. That's Kilo Golf Victor. That is Jack and Donaldson. Sound good tonight, Jack? Bill, November is backwards here. Kilo Mike 4, is that correct?
Kilo Mike, November Yankee.
No, I got it. I was just, it's funny how I was writing your call backwards as I was recalling it. November Yankee 4, Mike Kilo. So there you go. That's Bill in Murfreesboro. Good city. You doing all right?
Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Everything gets better.
Well, it's funny. I wouldn't, I know like you and most of us have some restrictions, especially if we're retired or older, about going out and doing things. But I was out today because I had to get my car serviced, and I couldn't help but notice that the traffic looks like nobody's staying home.
Same way here.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I don't know, wouldn't even be able to tell there was a problem except for all the restaurants. Well, most of the restaurants are closed. Anyway, that's Bill in Murphy's. November Yankee. Who's left? Who's left? Who's next? South or west, please? Nashboro. Very good. W0GZR. Sound good. Another Nashvillian. I think is that the term that everybody uses technically? I mean, formally for a citizen of Nashville is Nashvillian.
Yeah, first time I used it, I said Nashville. Boy, did I get help.
Well, I don't know. Think about it. So many country and western artists, male artists particularly, use that anti-hero or bad boy image to not be too far off.
No, I never thought of that. Good observation, sir.
Well, yeah, some moved to Nashville. I didn't dislike this country music, but I just never paid any attention to it. Now I do. Well, to some degree, I do. Anyway, who's next? That was, by the way, Mark in Nashboro, he's calling it. Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo in Nashville. Who else is west or south?
Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor.
That one's easy to remember, Larry. Been around for almost.
I'm doing good, man. About as old as you.
Oh, I know. No, I meant on the net, really. I didn't want to say you were old. I don't think you are. I think you're younger than me.
Just about a few months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. You're as young as you feel. Like 4 Sierra Yankee Victor Larry, and he's in Rockville. Good signal as always. Who else is south? West or south?
W4 yet.
Hey, how you doing? You heard John from the visitor from Iowa on the air, didn't you? Last time we had him in?
Yeah, I did get to talk to him a little bit those days.
Yeah, he was on the air as well today, but he's able to. We had a visitor here it was fun today because he said he was so excited. He had never really thought he finds us here, and he says, "This is great. I listen to you guys, and this is just gave it much thought." And he lives about 60 miles east of Des Moines, which is a pretty big city. And I said to him today, I bet you could hit Des Moines and maybe 25, 50 feet up in the air. You could have a lot of people to talk to on Simplex. And he said, yeah. Sounds like he's going to go start the Iowa.
Those hams to get involved on that flat land. Don't tell them to go.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I said. I go, man, I've never been to that part of, well, I haven't been to Kansas, let's put it that way. No, Iowa, but my impression was that it's pretty flat. So I can see how just a little bit elevation and a nice little beam, you could, so flat as it is, really. I mean, you could have a 100-foot tower. And
Yeah, it's all about communication.
I guess. Anyway, that was Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. He's in Gladeville. He's always had a great signal, even when he's using his 1 watt HT or half watt HT, whatever he's got over there. Who else is south? Please come in. Nobody else west or south?
That contact in there, Paul.
All right, go. Somebody go ahead.
Yeah, this is GZR. You know, I used to live in Iowa. Miles east of Des Moines. He's probably not going to make it.
No? Is it too much curvature of the earth there?
I used to drive from Des Moines to Davenport on I-80. And you hit Newton, which is 30 miles east of Des Moines. That's the last repeater you hit until Iowa City, which is 115 miles from Des Moines. So there's not a lot of ham activity to the east.
Yeah, he said where he lives in I think it's Brooklyn, Iowa. Is that correct? Yeah, Brooklyn, Iowa. He says there's only about 3 hams over there.
Yeah, it's not much. They do work 5.2 a lot. I've driven through there and air activity on 5.2. And I 1,500-foot tower near Brooklyn. And respond. It's one of those religious stations that basically a satellite operation. They don't have any live personnel, so they just blew us off.
Well, he did say that he could hit the several repeaters that were able to be hit from where he is, but he rarely gets a response. So it's like it's dead on repeaters as well.
Yep, there's a bunch of repeaters that nobody listens because there aren't many hams out there.
Well, you know, it's funny. I think you already know this, and you've heard me tell that story. And if John's listening, he'll appreciate it. When I first started the net, I announced it to about, I don't remember, 50 or 60 people. Nobody showed up. Not that I'm upset with them. They just, yeah, it's like whatever, you know. And as time, we only had a handful, if that, you know. And then it took us better part of 3-4 years to get up to 12 or 15 for average, and now we're up to a 30 average or so, 30 something. So it takes a while to get. I'm willing to bet. I'll have to look up the number of hams in those counties in Iowa, and I bet you there's more than a few. I bet you there's more like 100 or something, because Des Moines is not a little city.
Yeah, Des Moines got a lot of repeaters that just aren't used very much. A little like Nashville. Tell you where there's a lot of ham activity is southwest Iowa. It's incredible.
Well, yeah, and I agree. But here that was one of the reasons I did what I did with starting this net, as small as it was at the beginning. Very few. In repeaters, there was not one. It has nets on Thursday nights. That's that WC4AR repeater. But very little activity. And I wanted to talk to people who lived in Mount Juliet and the general area in Wilson County. And I end up with we've got 118 people on a mailing list, all the way from, in a 50-mile or 60-mile radius, So it just takes time to build up people to just jump into Simplex, because a lot of people have never spent any time on Simplex, really, unless they listen to that.
Yep, I'll go along with you on that. It does take time. You've got contact with that guy. Encourage him to get busy and just keep plugging away. If you build it, they will come.
Oh, I believe that, and we're proof of it here that people get interested in it and realize there's other people out there, and we even have people, obviously, and for good reason. They'll go to other frequencies and talk Simplex, and they find other Simplex nets, and it's great. I think it's wonderful. I mean, I get to meet a lot of hams, and hams get a lot of activity, and that's what hamdom is all about, getting on the air. Over to the east, then, please come in.
Mount Juliet.
Ah, very good. Got you in there, James. There was another 1 or 2 stations in there. Hope you're doing all right, James. But let's see, Zulu Hotel. And that was Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India, James in Mount Juliet. Who else was right just then?
India Bravo.
All right, there was actually 3 people. All right, here's K0, or excuse me, KO4 DTC. That's Johnny, who is in Inglewood. And Johnny, good to have you in there. Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu. And I also heard KI4 SIB in there. I'm starting to roll now. I actually have to remember some of the calls. And that is Richard. He's over in Lebanon. Are you also checking in the better half there, Richard?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Hello to Daphne for us. That's Richard and Daphne. Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo and Kilo India 4 Sierra Oscar Romeo. Both, they live in the same abode in just west of downtown Lebanon. Is there anybody else in there east?
Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India John Mount Juliet.
Ah, very good, John. Good to have you in there as well. That's Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India, is it not?
Got it.
Ah, right. Now it's my scribbling that messes me up. Zulu India, and his name is John in Mount Juliet. I remember I printed ever since I joined the military in 1968. You're forced into printing. But as far as forms and documents and logs and whatever you're writing, or apologies in the Navy, I'm pretty sure the other militaries are the same. So you were very careful about printing. And if somebody looked at my list on how I print, you'd say, "Man, I can't believe they didn't throw you." John in Mount Juliet, Kilo 4 Juliet Zulu India. Who else is east?
KB4.
I think that's Kilo Bravo 4 Sierra Foxtrot November. UC4 AR repeat. Who else was in there?
WB9.
I think that's John in there. That's WB Whiskey Bravo 9 Romeo X-Ray Kilo, the one from over east of Providence, and he's in here from Brooklyn.
Very good. Yeah, you guys got me all excited. Got to go home and get some. Yeah, I think that's really wonderful. It's something you guys got going. And like I said, traffic is dead out there in my area. I have to travel an hour just to go to a radio club meeting, try the Simplex. And Paul, might as well check my wife in too, WB9 UMG, WB9 United Mike Golf. She's a ham also.
Very good. What is Whiskey Bravo 9 United Mike Golf's name?
Her name is Cynthia. We've been married 51 years.
Well, congratulations. That's marriages you get to about 46.
Yeah, whatever works.
No, really, I applaud. Sounds like him.
No, we sure have. Yeah, it's challenges, but she's wonderful. So, thanks for allowing me to check in and listen to you fellas this evening, and thanks for inviting me in again.
Yeah, very good, John. It was John and Cynthia. They're over, like I said, east of Providence here in Mount Juliet. He's visiting his daughter and doing some chores over there for her and with her. That's Whiskey Bravo 5-watt Bullfang and a.
But it's still on the retaining wall. We're up about 12, 14.
A mag mount about 14 feet on a retaining wall adjacent to the house. It does real well. I know he's. Is there anybody who can't hear John? Okay, you can't hear him up there in Belshire, but then that's a good stretch for a 14-foot magma. All right, very good. You're getting out of probably. I'm guessing you're getting out because I know you talked to Tom earlier.
I'm going to bring a couple different antennas down. We'll try them out.
It'd be net control.
Oh boy.
No, I don't want to stifle you with any issues, but no, you'll be fine. Well, you're doing fine now, but even just like you said, even if you had a push-up pull at 10 or at 12, at 15 or 20, amazing what 5 watts will do, as well as amazing what you can do at 50, with a decent antenna. So Yeah, that's what's a big. And I'm confident over time you could get more than a couple people attracted to ham radio in your area. By the way, we'll keep in touch. Tells you what I did to get this rolling, and that was stealing addresses off of QRZ from everybody in the state and just sending them a notice I was doing a net. So we can see what we got here. Average 30-something check-ins on a simplex net, which is not unheard of on a repeater. Saying it's just not as much fun doing it, I guess. Anyway, John, was good. I think I mentioned Cynthia's, which was Whiskey Bravo 9 Uniform Mike Golf, and John's, of course, was Whiskey Bravo 9 Romeo X-ray Kilo, excuse me, from Brooklyn. That sounds terrible. From Brooklyn, from New York State. No, Brooklyn, Iowa. All right, who else is east? Please come in.
Not as old as dirt.
All righty. I'm guessing you couldn't hear John.
You're guessing correctly.
All right, that's because you're down in the hole over there east at where they used to have a ham fest every July, and now we don't at the moment anyway. I really do hope to come. Maybe we'll have 2 next year. Anyway, that's Earl. But you're doing all right. I haven't heard you on the air much, so I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Just batten down the hatches and dotting my I's and crossing my T's. You started talking about shirt off, which is kind of contrary to what I said. It was, but don't say you got to read it to hear it. But anyway, you know what they about what a sign says. But anyway, it says I was born in America a long time ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny. We talk about that over the years about. For some reason, people in the military feel it a little more. But way before I was ever involved in a military or anything, I always, even though I've got a Polish surname and Polish, German, Russian, and but I never thought of myself as anything other. Somebody asked me, what are you? I'd say, an American. I wouldn't say I'm Polish or I'm Polish German or Polish English or Polish Irish. Move on. That's just I don't think that's just me though. I think that's a lot of people. I don't much worry about. I mean, if you say what's my nationality, I'm an American. What's your heritage? Well, yeah, Eastern European and English, which is quite a mix. Anyway, who else is anywhere? Actually, east or anywhere?
84 is EQI.
Hey, hold on. We got to fight a Shake Rag, Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Yankee Golf, one of our more distant on it.
Well, good afternoon, Paul. This is KD4's EQI. I'm right outside of Shelbyville in Little Community Golf Shake Rag. Good evening, everyone there. I just got in and we wanted to say hello and check in with you.
Yeah, you're doing great. You were doing about S7, pushing S8 in there, so you're looking good.
I appreciate the roses for sure there. We don't have a whole lot of comment tonight. I'll just sort of list a copy in the mail here. I'll turn it back over to you. Good evening to you.
Good, Ed. That was Ed Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Yankee Golf, and he is from Shake Rag, which is adjacent to a little bit to pretty, and he's good distance from here if you look on the map. I don't know. I forget what it is. 45 miles maybe. Who else? There was another station in there, please. All right, very good. We got November 4 Lima Charlie is Logan. I got that name right.
Yes, sir. You got it right.
Yeah, I have to. Sometimes I don't connect well. Like I said, the ham radio, you get used to people's voice. Call, but I also get used to. I have to connect the name with the call, and it all kind of goes together. Particularly if I meet somebody in person, then you can kind of like solidify it in your brain. But anyway, so are you going to school now, Logan? I mean, are you just doing the home?
I am going to school, but my specific district, we're on a hybrid schedule, so we go
2 weeks, 3 days at home. Does any of that involve the remote?
Yeah, we have like Chromebooks, and on Mondays we'll like get on with our teacher on like a Google Meet kind of thing, Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff online for homework now.
Oh, fantastic. Are they requiring you to wear masks when you do go to school?
The only place that it's mandatory is in our nurse's office, I believe, and they say it's expected everywhere else. So it's not mandatory, but it's expected.
No, I got you. So I'm assuming that most. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if you heard me say it on the air. I was over and I there, and I realized I forgot my mask, which I normally have like 4 or 5 in the car. In this case, long story, but I didn't have any. And so oh man, so I opened up the door, and the sign right on the door says masks required. Okay. So all I did was I opened the door, I stepped into the doorway. Okay. By 30 or something like that. And so there was this lady, a little older than me, was standing by one of the racks there, but she was about 8 feet from me. And she was scared because not only did she have a hands and held it up over her face. I don't know what that was going to protect her from, but she held her purse up to prevent the virus from attacking her head.
Yeah, we've done that a couple of times with our masks. Like, we'll get all the way to, I don't know, Publix across town and be like, oh, we forgot our mask.
Yeah, I know. One of them. Anyway, that was Logan, November 4, Lima Charlie, and you're in.
Yeah, I'm over here in Lebanon.
All right, very good. That's what I thought. That was Logan. We got some of our older AMs as well. Got quite a stretch, like about let's see, only about 60 years, about between me and him. Who else is east or south? Please come on.
Come in KO4 at the U is Corey here about doing.
Corey, your call is K.
Yep. The U Foxtrot Victor uniform.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I think maybe. Kilo Oscar for Foxtrot Victor uniform in Mount G. The comment?
Yeah, is Logan on the HT?
Logan, you are on the HT, right?
They're on the Anytone doing 7.
All right, any tone, 5 watts, right?
7 watts.
It's 7 watts. And what's your antenna now still?
I've just got the stock antenna. I was messing around with another one, but I am at my dad's, so I have more of a line of sight to where y'all are.
All right, very good. You're not hearing any of that, Michael?
Yes, I'm hearing it tonight, and I couldn't believe it.
Okay, very good. So conditions are just pretty right. But he's location you were last time you checked in?
I'm at my mom's sometimes, but I think conditions are pretty good because the most of last night today, and it just got back up and running today. And there were people from Huntsville that the repeater was picking up around Huntsville.
Oh, wow. So conditions have been a little weird, I guess. Well, very good. Corey was just saying that sometimes it's at his mom's and sometimes it's at his dad's. And the conditions changed, though, just because the Wilson County repeater was actually receiving things out of Alabama. All righty. Juliet, but that was also Logan, November 4, Lima Charlie. And this conditions must be good because handheld can be heard, in Belshire up there in northeast. Anybody south or east? To the north, then.
KB9RKK.
All right, KB9 Romeo Kilo Frank. I'm sure Frank's doing.
Yeah, about I don't know, it's 3:30. I'm like, man, it's getting really hot up here. Well, and I'm like 83 degrees. Well, the AC unit quit working.
Oh boy, your household AC quit.
Well, I don't know what was wrong with it, but I'm like, no, the went out there, pulled the little plug out, waited, plugged it back in that little. It doesn't actually have a fuse in it. It's like a reset it, and it's been working. So I got lucky.
Yeah, it might have went off on the thermal overload or something internally on the compressor or something. I don't know which units you have there, but yeah, that's just one of those double pole.
Yeah, so I did that. That's what I figured it might have, because it could have too low and it was running too much or something, and it had been hot all day, so I don't know how long it was doing it. So it could have been a while. It's really weird because it wasn't the air conditioner obviously, but we had an explosion yesterday morning at 6:20. sounded like a transformer to the sky, but we couldn't figure out what it was. But it sure felt, maybe that's what it was. I said, no, it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't.
Oh, I've seen them blow up pretty good, but no, you'd know it if it was yours. We had one yesterday, before yesterday. No, maybe it was yesterday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Yeah, Monday. Monday, somebody here, right there, right where the Walmart is here in Mount Juliet, and somebody in that little parkway on Pleasant Grove. I didn't see it happen. I got there after it happened, but somebody slid sideways or got pushed into, slammed into, knocked right into, or knocked through, right through the ground-mounted transformer, blew out everything over there.
Was it the van that was on its? Well, okay, there was a van on its side in the driveway.
No, I couldn't see everything. The only car I saw was it looked like a Taurus or something. It was cattywampus on the side of the road.
Yeah, there was it's one of them taller vans like they use for like repair guys use them all the time. There was one of those in one of those driveways. It wasn't Captain D's, but right there, it was in the driveway. There was 2 state troopers and 3 Mount Juliet police, and the van was flipped, like it turned too fast, making a right turn, and it flipped onto its left side. But I wonder if he got hit, and that's what happened.
Oh, that probably was a different one, because this one was right there, about midway between like the Chrysler dealer and the corner, light down there. It's like it was right in the middle of that, in the middle on the right, and let's see, it would have been the north side of the road. So I think there was a different event.
Okay, yeah, well, there was one right there, not too far. It was right at lunchtime, and I had to run an errand. I had to go to the battery place to get a battery, and it took me longer to go there, because when I went to go back, it was just lined up, backed up past Providence. So yeah, I was gonna say one real quick comment. I sure remember having to print, because I was a dispatcher in the Marine Corps. So the best invention was erasable ink.
Oh man, printing. You learned to print in quadruplet or 5 copy
Mistakes, right? You weren't. So if you made a mistake, you were rewriting.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah, I don't remember having to rewrite anything, but you're right. If you did it wrong, I think I remember it over. So yeah, I guess we did rewrite stuff. That's funny. Of course, the Marines is in the Navy are twins there on the. Let me move on. That was Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo. Hey, Mark, I asked you a question. Have you haven't heard from Brian? Have you? I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Well, no, I haven't, and he's not very far from me. But I haven't heard him, so don't know what's up.
I'll have to send him an email. I have not heard from him at all. Maybe he's trying to keep his antenna. Well, his antenna's inside anyway. He can't be afraid of the virus inside.
I don't know. It is kind of unusual. He's usually there.
Yeah. Very good. That was Mark. Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar in Northwest Wilson, up by the weather station. Anybody else north or east? But I did hear Brent. That's Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Victor Quebec. You haven't heard from Brian, have you?
I saw him the other day. He was out mowing his lawn.
All right. Didn't have a radio on him, did he?
No, I don't know. He's been playing with the HF a little bit, but that's all he's been doing.
Okay, well, no problem. There's no he doesn't have to be here. There aren't any. You doing all right though? Working your butt off?
Yeah, actually, the working hours, so I'm happy as a clam at high tide.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people under these conditions. We have a lot of those people that were surviving as waiters, waitresses, and cooks, etc. I can't imagine what they're, even cleaning companies for clean restaurants. You know what I'm saying? That it seems like that whole industry fell apart.
Yeah, it sure did. Anything with the service industry pretty much in tough shape.
Well, I just think I used to work in a hotel, pretty much wiped out that. I think I might have mentioned last time I was on the net, I was just looking, I was interested in something. I was looking at hotel rates, and hotel in New York City for about $120. It's like, that is unheard. Shoot, you can't sleep on a.
No, Oh man, they're dropping these rates in a flight rate now. You can get them for $59.
Where? Is it $59 where?
I don't know. I'll tell you right now, some of the rates are outrageously.
Ridiculous. If you figure, like I said, look how many housekeepers, cooks wait today out on the Bank of America on West on Lebanon Road. Much to my surprise, they changed the schedule. They're closed on Wednesdays.
Yeah, those CEOs have.
I'm telling you, I've never seen a bank closed on a weekday. Have you?
I can't remember it.
It's usually a pretty big branch. I mean, as far as activity, not a big branch, a very small building, but you'd think, and I don't know. I made a special trip over there only to find out it's closed because I don't like to go 7 miles to cash a check. Anyway, that was Brent, Kilo. All right. An H first, please.
ALN W3JCH.
Oh, Juliet, Charlie Hotel. I don't want to mess it up. Give me your name and location, please. Yes, I was. I made a special point to remember that your name is Justin. And I was afraid to say it because I was afraid I was wrong. Justin and Gallatin. We were just up in Gallatin, my wife and I yesterday. We said we got to come up here more often just to see what's good to eat up there.
Not much up here, to be quite honest with you. But I did have one quick question. I did a reprogram on my ICOM 4100A and my mobile unit that I use now. Up in my repeater scan. So I don't know what changed there, or did you have it added or what?
Somebody might have. Oh, wait a minute. Where did you get your data for your upload?
From the ICOM DMR side.
Well, somebody might have grabbed it. I put this in repeater book on the web as a simplex node, so it may have picked it up from that.
It did, because normally we have to tune in manually here, but with the scanning frequencies popped up there. Mount Juliet .2 is what it went up in my ICOM radio here.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Well, then it did do some good. I didn't know. That's all for people who are traveling through the area who did uploads like that.
That works great. I'm glad you can hear me good.
Maybe not everything I can. Everything I can think of. Let's qualify that. It'll help promote simplex in this area, and it seems to work. In fact, John, are you still there? Isn't that how you said you got? How did you get the? John, are you still there?
Yeah, I am, Paul, and that's exactly the same way that I found you guys. And I was shocked because I thought I hadn't looked at it. I thought I was on a repeater frequency.
Yeah, that's what I remember you saying. If for those who couldn't hear John, that's the John from Brooklyn, Iowa. We got the data for the simplex frequency we have here, and we got it from a database that I put. At least it started on Repeater Book. If you look up Repeater Book, you'll see us as a simplex node here in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. So obviously, it did some good.
Yeah, that's a copy, because all I did was update my repeater file and load it into my radio, and it now comes up. But like I said, the past couple weeks, we've talked before, repeater listening, it does actually pop up. So I mean, it should.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it, Justin. I'm glad I did that then. I wasn't sure because, quite honestly, I'm not sure what somebody identifies as. They call it a simplex node, and a lot of times a simplex node, where you're just going in locally, it's not really just be a simplex node access point for accessing the internet via Echolink. You with me?
First got my ticket, I was playing around with Echolink and playing the nodes and exactly where you can access anywhere. But yeah, this one is actually listed in the repeater, so it's frequency with all the other repeaters in the nearby areas.
Well, that's good. I guess that makes it. Yeah, but I try not to bring it up during the day because I don't want any more chickens. There's too many. Of course, I was joking, but we'll take all we can get. Whoever wants to show up is that's the way we look at it. But anyway, Whiskey 3, Juliet, Charlie Hotel, Justin, and he is, I forgot where, oh, Gallatin, that's where you are. How could I forget? You said I was in Gallatin. All right, very good. And Gallatin actually, it's Brian Gallatin. That's my wife are noticing.
Yeah, there's a heap of it up here. That's what we like to do in our spare time. Load up and look at all the bougie houses and property around here.
Ah, it's amazing. It's amazing. There's still a lot of Mount Juliet's getting filled up, so everybody's gonna have to move up to Gallatin. All right. Anybody else east or north?
KE4TWO.
You're not home, are you, Wes?
I am.
Man, your signal's awesome tonight.
Yeah, you're strong. Frank was strong. I even heard the Gallatin station. So yeah, they're good.
Yeah, you're doing S7 here, so you're doing with a good audio. It's excellent. You don't have to tell me another, not right now, but how did you restrictions on animals you can have in your area? You mentioned something about that, or Robin did, about some guy had hogs and you really shouldn't have hogs in the neighborhood.
It depends on your property when you bought it. If they had added restrictions prior to that, and it's good for so many years. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can legally make any restriction you want. Say, you can't have, I don't know, dead turtles or whatever. Yeah, well, we'll talk about it later. All good here. KE4TW.
Yeah, very good. That's Wes. He's had a nice vacation since the pandemic because the school system's closed and he's a teacher. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Nice to have a paid vacation. Like being retired, Wes. You can. This is like a pre. What do you call it? That's Wes anyway. He's near Watertown with a great signal tonight. Anybody else east, north, or anywhere? There, but Daniel 1 in Mount Juliet. That's Alpha 4 Delta Echo. Good to have you in there, Daniel. Who else was in there?
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul from North Mount Juliet.
Ah, very good. Paul also in Mount Juliet. That was Kilo Charlie 9. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Another scribbled event here. Kilo, you think I fast? Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra, and that's Paul. The other Paul, the only other Paul that at least on tonight's Juliet. Anybody else? East anywhere, including north, south, east, or west? All right, I got Danny. I heard a Lebanon station, but I don't know who it was. Hold on one second. I got Danny in Whiskey Echo 4 Esco. How are you doing these?
Today was my first day back officially. He's progressing. I still have a little ways to go on a couple of things, but a little better every day.
Well, quickly said, I can, and I had gallbladder surgery, and I was really not doing out for 2 weeks, and I was out for about a week, and I said, man, I got to go back to work. This is killing me sitting around the house. I couldn't stand it. So I workers to pick me up. I said, just my man, because he couldn't drive because of the abdominal surgery. So took me to work at noon. I said, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. I ran into that. I had a work-related fall about 7 years ago. I'll spare you the details of that one, but anyway, I went back to work probably about 12 weeks later, and I really kind of wanted to get back in the saddle, get back to work. And I was purposely going in about 10, leaving about 4. And about the end of the day, Wednesday, I realized I had gone back a couple weeks too early. So, being home office based and with things where they are right now, my work day is not particularly go back. And like I said, I'm at about 80 or 85% maybe. Still got a ways to go on a couple. I'm at the point now where I can spend some time in an office type environment. So it's time to get moving.
Sitting around for a few days, recovering, even if you're not like physically injured, laying around the house, so to speak, for several days, or in a bed, for instance, for several days or a week. I always did that. Here it was a couple of years ago, but in the hospital for 3 weeks. That just about killed me. Sitting around is no good.
No, it's a blessing and a curse. Not stress yourself or whatever, because I had particularly good days, and I got up and I moved around and I did some stuff. And the next day or day after, I paid for done it, and you know was fatigued and whatever. So I've had to kind of learn that the hard way a couple of times, and just sit there and rest and purposely don't do anything, and that's paid off.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's you're right. It is a blessing and a curse, but it's always good to get back to work and get into the grind. That was Danny Whiskey.
Kilo 4, Oscar Foxtrot.
1 second, Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot author was an N4 Juliet. What was the last part of that?
N4 Juliet Alpha Victor.
Hey, Alan, I haven't heard from you in a while, or maybe I heard you've been on here before, haven't you?
No, I haven't actually. I just ran across y'all a couple of weeks online and was talking to Michael on YouTube a minute ago and said, well, I'm going to go out to the truck and see if I can check in.
Well, you certainly can. Your signal's good. What are you using in the truck?
An old FP 7100 J-tube. I got it up on 50 watts at the moment.
Nah, you're doing great. And the antenna on the truck?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, what antenna on the truck? No problem. I just wondered. Sometimes people settle for, like me. I got a through glass antenna. It's worthless unless you're talking to a repeater 4 blocks away.
Suburban I had, somebody taught me out of it. I'm glad they did.
Well, again, it is good if you live in the city and you're
Yeah, I think it was maybe a good source. I did. I hope so.
Anyway, you're doing fine, Alan, and we appreciate you coming into the net. That's November 4, Juliet Alpha Victor, and you're in Lebanon, right?
That's correct. Give me a good base station antenna up here for too long. I'll be able to do this from in the house.
Ah, very good. Yeah, we've had HTs in the front yard. We've had HTs with trucks and mag mounts, and we've had people standing on the front lawn, putting on the on a retaining wall, checking into the net. But good to have you in there. Hey, I heard you're back in town, Mr. Kilo 4.
Roger, got back today. Hope I'm here for a few days. Hope I'm here for a while. I don't want to go back out there. Had 100 plus temperature for over 30 days straight. The last 2 weeks of there, 112 plus. Got up to 117 a couple of days.
Yeah, it's funny. I do have your caller right, don't I? Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar.
Yeah, okay.
You haven't been around so long, I forgot.
Oh, I know. Well, I took a HT out there and was able to connect with a couple of towers out there. Was able to get on a few nets out there. That works at the HRO out there has a repeater, and then a couple other people. So he referred me to them. So I was able to pick up 2 or 3 channels just on an HT out there. So it wasn't too bad. And they do their nets a little different, but not that much. But I enjoyed it. I'm glad to be back home.
Yeah, the farther west you get, the goofier they get, don't they?
Well, the net they had out there was extremely strict.
Well, you're gonna have.
That's what I thought, because I think the first time I got on it, I was just used to getting on there and doing what we normally do, and then we need to do that, need to do this. I said, well, excuse me, we're not quite that formal back home. We just enjoy it.
Well, you ought to send them a little note and tell them to listen to this on YouTube, and maybe not nice bread, because we're not. I think we do a good job on Simplex, though, and a lot of people around here do a good job on Simplex. And on a repeater or on a net, it's that military, go up.
Yeah, they were nice. I did mention the net out there to the guy at the Ham Radio Outlet store. He couldn't believe it. He asked me quite a bit about it, and I told him roughly how many check-ins we had, possibly what coverage people had, and told him mostly what most people were covering miles was. He couldn't believe that. I said, everybody out there has upgraded their antennas. I said, they do as well, some of them on Simplex as they do with a repeater.
Oh, yeah, no, I just, I had that one fellow who rolled into town here. He just had Simplex net down there. He was in North Georgia. He goes, it's too hilly.
would be there, but I mean, all of their repeaters are going 60 and 70 miles. But on Simplex, the slatters that Valley has out there, they could do better than they think they would anyway. But I just don't think that it didn't sound like it.
Yeah, well, again, I'll quickly said, and now we are in the 30s twice a week. So, and we're doing what, 6 meters, 10 meters, 2 meters, all great. And so to say, and it was nothing before. I don't want to say it was nothing. It wasn't what it was now, what it is now. And so it's kind of silly to be.
So I mean, I enjoyed it, but I'm glad to be back. Things operate a little better, a little easier. I won't take any more of your time. Maybe somebody else won't check in. I'm hoping I'll be around now for a while, trying to get back on the net regularly.
Yeah, very good, Donnie. Well, you don't have to be here. You know the rules. Where was that in Arizona again?
I was in Phoenix, Chandler area, but those guys some of them were in Apache Junction, which was 20 or 25 miles away, and with a halfway decent antenna, they could have talked Simplex very easily. Just afraid to try it. And then all of them, the big thing out there, everybody wants to make their own antennas, and some they're making, you can tell when they're using them all. Some of them kind of problematic, but they need a little bit more work on it. Anywhere they wanted to, probably 20 or 30 miles.
Yeah, it's done in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Anyway, Donnie was spending some time out with his family in for Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar. He's about 5 miles south of me, just east of Mount Juliet. Well, east of Mount Juliet Road. Good, back and safe, and everything went well there, though.
Yeah, it did. I'd like to accomplish a little bit more, but we made some progress, and I appreciate. Glad to be back. I appreciate your welcoming back.
Yeah, very good, Donnie. Good to have you there. Kilo 4 Oscar.
5L, Mike from Antioch.
Is that Kilo 5 Lima?
Roger that, it is. I got an upgrade in my call sign.
Oh, great. So you got a nice vanity.
Video, I think.
I guess it is. I don't know how.
Yeah, but it looked like there was people that weren't eligible. Like you'll have some extras and some generals and technicians that apply for it, but must have been the only extra.
Oh, I guess it's a lottery based upon whether you're an extra, general, or a tech, I guess, huh?
Well, you can only get a 4 character if you're an extra, from my understanding.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if they still had that restriction or not. I wasn't sure. It seemed everything, but obviously I'm wrong. No, that's cool, Michael. Very good. That's Kilo. That down. That's Mike in Antioch. Let's see your formal call. Don't make me look. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it here. Say on here. No, it is KN4BTH, right? Kilo November 4 Victor Tango Hotel was your previous call.
Roger that. Yep.
When did you upgrade?
I just did it. Applied for 3 different ones, and I ended up getting one actually I wanted. So I didn't think I would get any of them because I know the 4 characters are hard to get. So.
Oh no, very good. Yeah, very good. By the way, it looks funny when you see that on the QRZ. I just looked you up on QRZ. I have one lookup, and apparently that might be me. I don't know, but you can go in there and upgrade that and take the.
It don't matter, I'm not, Anyway, that's cool. Thanks for the info.
All right, very good. No, it just it looks like you don't talk very much on the air. That's all. No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter a whit. Anyway, that's Mike and Andy at Kilo 5 Lima. That was number 35. And anybody else before we move on? Anybody? Sandbaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers. I haven't gone through that list in a while. Preppers. All righty, we're going to move over. We had 34 check-ins. I appreciate all the commentary. normally don't spend a whole lot of time chatting with people, but tonight we did, and here it's 8 minutes after 9. We normally wrap up both nets on a Wednesday night by 9, but I don't think anybody's gonna. If they don't, again, if you can't hang around, you just go do something else, and it's not gonna. Doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't know if it hurts anybody's feelings. Like I said, no one has to be here. We appreciate anyone who checks in and get some enjoyment or some information off of the net that's useful, even if it's just for fun. Anyway, 30. Nice average number for us, and it's thrilling to see that we keep those numbers up in spite of being here twice a week. There are trouble in Simplex, no trouble getting 15 or 18 or 20 or even, you know what I'm saying. It's just I think that Simplex seems to attract a lot more people, and I believe it's true. It's more fun, it's more challenging, it's you feel like there's more. You've done something better with your system to be able to do Simplex to a great extent than it is. I also spent a lot more money, but that's the second thing. Anyway, we're going to move over. Does anybody have any commentary or questions before we move over to 10 meters?
Count was 35.
Was it 35?
Yep.
You're right, it is 35. I wrote down 34 in the last. I did it in groups of 5, but I made that one a group of 4. Ah, very good. 35 check-ins. Fantastic. That's even better. Anyway, now technically doesn't matter, because if you use that as a criteria, then we should have 70, but we don't have 70. But having 35 out of a mailing list of 118 is outrageously good. Like I said, I just appreciate everybody who checks in and enjoys the net. Anyway, any other commentary besides a correction on the count? All righty, we're going to move over to 28.415. It's upper. There's a objection. Forever hold your peace, because we're moving there. Very good. I'm closing this portion of the net. 28.415 upper side. Very good. You just got to see my radio tune, my SBT 500, SBT 500 antenna, the vertical. This is K4P radio net doing the 28.415 upper side band from the west. Please come in.
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Ah, excellent signal there, Jack. You sound really good on Tim.
You do too. Good night.
Very good. Who else? That was Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack. Who else is west? Anybody else west? All right, hang on one second. I got Chris in. There was a double or triple. It's Kilo Golf 4, Charlie X-Ray Echo. Signal is a little low, but it's a good solid issue. I can hear it well. Who else was in? Okay, there you go. Kilo Delta 4, and that's Greg in Antioch. Signal's a little low. Again, I probably should be wearing headphones, but I'd be able to hear you better. But let me troll. There you go. Turn up the volume a little bit. Who else was in there besides Greg? Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo.
KM4YRF, Mike in Belshire.
Very good. Is there somebody else in there? Could you hear them?
No, I didn't hear anybody.
Is there another station west? Please come in. Yeah, it must be that the people that talk to me in my head. Kilo Mike 4. Okay, that's good. We got that one, Michael. Anybody else west before we move to south? All right, over to the south. Please come down. Nothing to the south? That was Kilo 5 Lima. I'm not sure what you're using, but that is you should have a much bigger signal than that. We can talk later if you want to come back on 2 meters. It's a very low signal though. All right, yeah, let me know later. It was very, I can hear you in there, and I know you're there, but you must, anyway, we'll talk later. No big thing. That was Mike, Kilo 5 Lima in Antioch. Who else is south? Anybody east? KO4DTZ, and that's Johnny in Inglewood. Kilo Bravo 4, Sierra Fox over in Martha near Lebanon. Who else is east? South, I can't hear.
Nope.
All right, moving over to the east or north, please.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Nice, solid, loud signal tonight, as usual, Frank. Is there any other north stations?
Danny in Hendersonville.
Yeah, Danny, yours is also exceptional. Of course, coming across the pond, as they say. Danny.
Oh, how nice. What were you up here for?
But anyway, we took that way home, and yesterday, no, when it rained and it really poured down for a little while.
Here.
Yeah, well, that's what they call scattered showers. All right, anyway, Danny, Whiskey Echo 4 Echo in Hendersonville. Who else?
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra.
All right, hold on one second. I did get Paul. Go Tango Sierra here in Mount Juliet. Who was the other station?
WB0
Ah, very good. That's excellent signal tonight. What do you use at your station?
The Kenwood 590.
Okay, very good. Is that one built for 40? Does a good job for horizontal, I'll say that.
Where are you?
Where are you, Mark? He's up by the weather station in Northwest Wilson.
Oh, that explains it. He's almost 40 over here, but I can see that tower from here.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't think you'd have any trouble hearing him if he was laying it on the ground.
Exactly.
All right, very good. Anyways, Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0 November. Center Fed Dipole, Northwest Wilson. Who else is west or north? I mean.
Alpha 4 Delta.
Alpha 4 Delta in Mount Juliet. Anybody else north or anywhere? Nobody else north, south, east, or west? All righty, let me wrap it up then. We had Daniel, Alpha 4 Delta Echo here in Mount Juliet. Mark, Whiskey Bravo 9 November Oscar in Northwest Wilson by the Weather Bureau. We got Paul, Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra here in Mount Juliet. And of course, that's the other Paul. Should be obvious. Danny, Whiskey Echo 4 Echo in Hendersonville. Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. He's in Northwest Wilson. Or Sierra Foxtrot November in Martha. Johnny, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Tango Zulu over on the from Opryland in Inglewood. Mike, Kilo 5 Lima in Antioch with that brand new call. Kilo, I like that. Kilo 5 Lima. Throws people off because they think you live in 5 lane. Mike, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, the other Mike. And then Greg, Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo in wherever the heck he is. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor in Donaldson, and me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey here in Mount Juliet. Appreciate all the check. We had 12 on the last night. We seem to be hanging around that number. We've done more. I'm not sure why it goes a little more or less, but it just does. And again, it doesn't learned early on. It doesn't matter whether it's 2 people check in or 20 or 30. It's whoever checks in. It's a good night. So you guys, Papa Echo Whiskey closing.
Thanks, Paul.